So, my roots actually are based here in Arizona. I was born here in Tucson. I'm one of the rare natives, and managed to find my way back. So, I did my undergraduate studies at Northern Arizona University. And after receiving a master's in medical sciences from the College of Medicine at Texas A&M, I moved back to Arizona, and actually into the Phoenix area, and had the opportunity to really apply the skills that I learned as a graduate student more on the molecular technique side, to my work in an environmental lab, in the Phoenix area. And a few years later, after having our second child, moved back home to Tucson to be closer to family, and instantly found my home for about 14 years at Cord Blood Registry. So during my time at Cord Blood Registry, which interestingly was a University of Arizona spinout, I had the opportunity to not only work and supervise just a tremendously dynamic and talented team within manufacturing, but also, conducted some research and development, ultimately found my way into the operations leadership role. And after 14 years, was in the position of vice president of our Tucson operations. And so it was just a tremendously wonderful opportunity to serve families across the world, in being able to store their child's cord blood stem cells for the potential opportunity for, should there be a need for those in therapy in the future. And interestingly, in about 2019, after watching Critical Path Institute for a number of years as they had grown in the Tucson area, found an opportunity to join the organization as chief operating officer. And since that time, have enjoyed every step of the way. It's been a very interesting shift to working in the nonprofit space, but I just have such a fondness and a connection with the mission that the organization, that it has been tremendously impactful and really just tremendously fulfilling to be a part of the organization. In my current role as president and chief operating officer, I'm primarily responsible for organizational wide operations, supporting really our talent and our resource needs, legal, technology, and really making sure that our tremendous scientific and technology programs really have the support that they need to be able to operate most effectively. So CPAS's mission is to accelerate the path to a healthier world. So what does that actually look like? At our core, we serve as a neutral convener to facilitate collaboration with stakeholders. And really the intention is to identify barriers to developing approved therapies for patients in need and creating tools and solutions to overcome those barriers. So most succinctly, I would say that CPAth, builds solutions to problems and facilitates research in areas where there's unmet need. So Critical Path Institute, it was started here in Arizona by our founder, Dr. Raymond Woosley, who was actually the dean of the College of Medicine at University of Arizona. He saw the vision that was created by Janet Woodcock at FDA to really bring to life the Critical Path Initiative, which was defined and released in 2004. So this entity of CPAth is really the application of that Critical Path Initiative. And so over the years, we're now 18 years strong. Over the years, the notoriety and reputation that CPAth has been able to establish on a global stage really only helps to bring positive attention to the state of Arizona. Not only do we partner with the FDA, we also will collaborate with European Medicines Agency and other international regulatory agencies to really ensure that the solutions that are needed to be able to get therapies to patients in need are done so with the input from the various regulators that are really focused on those particular therapeutic areas. Um, as part of the state of Arizona, and as CPATH really, being a having a firm foundation here in the state of Arizona, we have grown tremendously, and so we have brought additional talent into the state of Arizona, and I would say highly technical talent to the state of Arizona. We've also done quite a bit of recruiting and support from educational support for college students here in Arizona and graduate students as we bring them into the organization, as we offer fellowships and internships, postdocs. So there's, that from a workforce development standpoint, CPATH really has benefited from the tremendous talent that Arizona schools have produced. CPATH also has a regulatory science certificate program. It's a graduate level certificate program that was developed in collaboration with the University of Arizona College of Law. And so we find that incredibly rewarding. And also, not only does it, of course, benefit those individuals who are getting that additional education in regulatory science, but what that then brings forward for the broader therapeutic development ecosystem that is beneficial not only locally but nationally and globally. And I would say maybe most importantly is the fact that here in Arizona, the demographics that we have and the therapeutic areas where we have public-private partnerships or these consortium where we're really trying to facilitate opportunities to get therapies to patients in need. We have a number of partnerships that touch on the demographics that are really important here too in Arizona. So we have a consortium that focuses on the development of therapies for Alzheimer's disease patients, for Parkinson's disease patients. We have a number of efforts that are focused on patients with rare diseases and pediatrics. And so while these consortia not only will benefit, of course, patients in need wherever they may live. So specifically here in Arizona, the work that we do day in and day out has a tremendous opportunity to impact our neighbors, our broader community. And it's rewarding to be part of an organization that is doing so much good, not only on a national or global stage, but within the state of Arizona. I joined Arizona Bioindustry Association as a director in 2015 and transitioned to the chair of the board in 2018 and have served in that capacity since then. As chair of the board of directors, I really see it as my role to help facilitate the vision that AZ Bio has, not only for that organization, but really for the state of Arizona. Our vision at AZ Bio is to make Arizona a top 10 life science state. And the way that we intend to do that is really with our mission for supporting the needs of Arizona's growing life science ecosystem. And so really the forms that may take include workforce development and focusing on the opportunity to engage with students and industry to really ensure that the Arizona workforce is prepared for the entities that will call Arizona home. We focus on securing capital and really ensuring that the tremendously talented researchers and the companies that choose to call Arizona home and that start up here really have access to capital to where they're able to continue with their investments and their research and keep calling Arizona home. We look to make connections across Arizona's growing life science community. And the way that we do that is by putting on different educational and networking events and providing mentoring programs. We serve as a trusted voice to ensure that resources are available should anybody have any questions or need any information regarding the life science ecosystem here in Arizona, that AZ Bio is that resource for them. And I would say last but certainly not least, there's an advocacy component. So there's certainly government affairs aspects and really policies that directly impact the life science ecosystem here in Arizona, not only local legislative topics, but national legislative topics. And AZ Bio really, serves to inform and educate local and national legislators on policy issues so that we are best serving the ecosystem stakeholders here in the state of Arizona. CPAC has had the great fortune of being led by some tremendously talented and reputable executive leaders that have all come from varying backgrounds and experience, and that's really helped to bring us to this point in time for CPAC. So we're experiencing not only our biggest growth financially, but program-wise in history. So the engagement from our external stakeholders to really want to partner with CPAC to create opportunities and solutions is busier than ever. Really, Dr. Woosley's vision to serve as a neutral convener to accelerate drug development is CPAC's founding principle. And he led CPAC for almost 7 years, allowing us to achieve early success milestones in really transforming drug development paradigms and setting the stage for CPAC's unique identity in Arizona, the United States, and really on the global biotech sector. For more than 6 years, Dr. Bromfeld helped expand CPAC's worldwide reach, our revenue streams, and really the impact on medical product development, while helping to solidify our stellar reputation and credibility. I'm incredibly excited that Dr. Dan Jorgensen has just recently joined Critical Path as our Chief Executive Officer. He's also visionary. I know that really his vast insight in medical product development, plus his passion for global health, really will drive our organization to the next phase of growth and innovation. If I had to distill down really CPAC's greatest impact to date, it isn't based on one single achievement, but instead really the collaboration and relationships amongst the stakeholders in industry, academia, patients, patient organizations, and regulatory agencies, all working together to accelerate the development of new therapies. And it's really that collaboration and the competency that we've developed in being able to partner with these diverse stakeholders that we are able to take and apply to any particular program and therapeutic area where there is a need.